Hey everybody, we're going to do an alternate assignment on increasing and decreasing intervals. In case you want to improve your grade, you're going to need two highlighters, and you are going to need the volume up for this. Because there's going to be some cues that I'm going to look forward to see if you were listening, because you need to be listening and watching and doing all at the same time. Okay, so increasing and decreasing intervals. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the point where the graph turns from increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing. Sometimes I call it cutting the graph in half, but as you can see it stops here. But if you can imagine that it keeps going, this would be the place where you're cutting the graph in half. Okay, this is at x equals 2. Okay, now the right side of the graph, the x's are bigger than 2, so this side is where the x's are greater than 2. On the left side of 2, you can see that the numbers are less than 2, so on this side, the x values are less than 2. So these are the intervals that are going to go here and here, but you have to figure out which one goes where. So if you are driving a car, everything starts from the left-hand side. You are going to go downhill first. So this side is decreasing. So we're going to put a D for decreasing. So decreasing interval is the interval where my x values are less than 2. Okay, then at the 2 is where it turns and the curve begins to increase. So my increasing interval is on the right side of 2, and the x values there are greater than 2. So my increasing interval is the x values that are greater than 2. And then just to review on zeros, the zeros are where the graph crosses the x-axis, and in this case it crosses in two places, at the -2 and the 6. And we do not want to put parentheses around these because it's not an ordered pair. Okay, so if you're listening, I need you to write your name at the top, and I want you to take one of your highlighter colors and I want you to highlight your name if you're listening. Okay, we're going to do a second one. Notice that this graph is turned upside down. However, it appears that the turning point is still at 2. They're not always at 2, but this one is at 2. So if you look at your x values, they're bigger than 2 on this side. They're smaller than 2 on this side. So x is less than 2 over here. X is greater than 2 over here. Okay, so if I'm driving in a car from the left-hand side, always from the left, I am going to go uphill in the beginning of this. So this is the increasing part of the curve. And what values of x are they increasing? The x values that are less than 2, because they're increasing all the way to the 2. So x is less than 2 is the interval that's increasing. Then it's going to turn and go downhill. So after the 2 is where it is decreasing, and after the 2 is where the x values are greater than 2 on the graph. And there is no place that the curve crosses the x-axis, so there are no real zeros. Okay? And if you're listening to me, draw a smiley face right here on the right side of this graph. And now you're going to do the last two problems on your own and turn it in for a grade. Thanks so much.